Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. Good to be back with you. Today we're going to talk about frustration and specifically, are you setting yourself up for frustration? Hi, everybody. Reminder, my name's Tyler. I'm a mentor here at More Success and Significance. I'm passionate about helping people. We mentor people in their life to create cash flowing assets so that they have more significant choices in life to chase their passions. So happy to be with you today. Let's kick it right into it, but let's review. This week we were talking all about frustration. And on Monday, we gave a little tips about how we can maybe move past frustration, right? We talked about defining problems in terms of behaviors so that we can potentially change those behaviors and then change the outcomes. We talked about defining the right problem, right? Are we getting to the root of the problem, or are we focused mostly on symptoms of the problem? And then on Tuesday, we talked about a tip about if you're in a constant state of frustration or a cycle of frustration, is it actually time to take a reset, pause, do some reflection, and see if there are things that you can do to say, I am going to do differently and move forward. And so today, we're going to stay on that path, and I'm going to challenge you in a couple areas, mindset areas, where to ask you, are you actually setting yourself up for frustration? All right, you ready to go? Let's dive right in. So the first one that I'm going to ask and say, are you setting yourself up for frustration, is what kind of expectation do you have in your life or in certain areas where you are frustrated? So I read a quote the other day, is that expectation is the thief of all joy. Another way of putting it is marry the process, divorce the outcome, right? Which is control your controllables. Get in a good mental space where you can focus on the things that you can control, the things that you can do, and push aside an expectation or a timeline around as much as possible about where those things can be. So for instance, maybe in areas of eating right, and health and weight loss, I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in a place where I've stuck at something maybe for 2-3 days, maybe a week, and I'm like, I'm just not losing any weight. I don't feel any better. And that's not a healthy expectation. That can lead to frustration. Maybe some of you are in business like me, and you say, you know what? I've tried a different strategy. It's been a week, and I'm not garnering any more clients. And it's like, but is that a healthy expectation? Does the frustration come from the fact that things aren't actually going well and the way they should? Or is the frustration maybe coming from false expectations? So for this week, I challenge you to think through some areas where you're frustrated and say, well, what is my real expectation from this? And do I have the correct expectation about the kinds of results that I should be getting from these efforts? Right? So step one, reflect and say, what kind of expectations do I have? And number two, and this comes to a place where I think people get into a rut. They get into a rhythm. I'm going to challenge you to try something else. Try something else. Try a different solution. Try something that you might actually be a little fearful to do. Maybe even a lot of fearful to do. I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson that says the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over and expecting a different result. That is easier said than done, I think, at times, where we say, okay, great, I'm going to try something different. But do you know what's on the other side of something different? It's foreign. It's scary. It's outside our comfort zones. It's outside something that we maybe have an expertise in. And so what I find in a lot of people is they think about, like, yeah, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna maybe push the envelope a little bit. But then when they get close, they retreat. Why? Because there's a difference there. That's unknown. That's foreign. Maybe there's some fear there. But I'm going to encourage you that if you look at your solutions or potential solutions from the frustrations, and you see some things that maybe you need to change that you haven't done, your victory is on the other side of that line, is on the other side of that comfort zone, is on the other side of that fear. And I just want to encourage you to take those steps. It seems like a big step. It seems like it could be a huge gap. But I think once you go through that, you're going to find so much victory, so much satisfaction, so much confidence, and then your ability to move through your frustrations. And the other thing that I would say in these two areas, because there's challenging a mindset, is, and it has definitely been helpful for me, is to don't do these exercises alone. And the reason I say that is perspective is so key, especially when it comes to frustration. Because many times when you're talking about the things that, do I have the right expectations? Are there something else that I should try? A perspective from an outsider can be really key. And the reason for that is because that outsider, that close friend that you place trust in, maybe a mentor, is that they can have a perspective outside of your current reality. They don't have the same attachment. They don't have the same emotion that you might have going through these situations. And then so they can look through it with a constructive lens, a constructive eye. And they can say, I know mentors in my life have said, Tyler, I understand your frustration, but I think that maybe your expectation was a little off there. I think you need to keep going. I think you're doing the right things. I think you need to keep your positive attitude and don't let those expectations bring you down. They've also said, hey, Tyler, I think you've tried this long enough. I think it's maybe time to try something new. What are two different things that you might be able to try in this area that might actually get a different result or get the result that you want? Because you've kind of been going at this for a while, and I think we're to the point where maybe this doesn't work. But that's perspective that I couldn't have in that current situation. So just to recap a little bit, we're talking about two areas, right? Do you have the right expectation in your life? If you don't, maybe that's leading to frustration. And the second piece is, are you actually trying new things? Are you thinking outside of what you're currently doing, that there might be other solutions out there for you? I think this is going to be really helpful. Also have something really exciting that we're going to post in the description above and below, is that we are starting a weekly newsletter. And what that is going to be is it's going to be a summary of all of our weekly content that we're putting out. I've heard from many of you that some of you see some of the content but have to go searching for other pieces of it during the week. So I'm excited that this is going to actually put it all in one place. And then if you want, we're going to send it straight to your inbox. So that's going to be in the description below for this week. We'll continue to put it in there so you know where to find it. That's going to include our topics on the Monday morsels, the To Use Day leadership topics, also these Friday Modern Day Mentor podcasts. And we're also going to throw in some additional content for those email newsletter subscribers. So I am super excited about that, to get this content directly into your hands. It's going to be super convenient, summary of the whole week straight into your inbox. I think it's going to be really great. So if you want to take advantage of that, click on the link that's in this description. We'll get you signed up for that weekly newsletter, and this content will hit your inbox every week. All right, guys, so that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. Super excited about what this can do for you. And until next time, wishing you nothing but more success and significance in your life. Take care.